cutting the handles right now. There you have it, folks. 20 handles. Alright folks, sorry it's a little dark, but what I'm going to be doing now is I got 20 pieces for your handles, and I'm just going to be cleaning up the burrs on the sides like this. It's going to make some noise here, and I use my respirator, so there goes nothing. Going to the dentist. Alright folks, what we're doing here is I got the ferro rods, the raw rods, and you have to take a hacksaw, and this is it tests them to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the rods, so you don't actually have to scrape the rod so they look new when you ship them to your customers. But it also puts grooves in it, so when you use your adhesive, it bonds quickly. So basically, just going to cut some small grooves right into the side of the rod, like that. And you get some little grooves like that to adhere the adhesive to. When you push them in the antler pieces, then they don't ever slip out. There's a little bit of grip on there. So I got 20 of those to do, and that way when I push them into the antler pieces, they don't just fall out over time. Gives it a little bit of grip. Howdy folks. What I'm doing today is got a big old box of miscellaneous tinder I've been drying out, and it's dry, so I am just going to be separating it out and processing some wood down. Got a whole mess load of birch peels here, and a bunch of fat wood and other stuff, so that's what I'm going to be doing. What we have here is all of the remains of some cutting, and I just kind of put it in a tote like this and kind of mix it up and break some of it down a little bit smaller, and it's already pre-dried. It's got punk wood, fat wood, corn silk, birch bark, pine bark, parts of cattail. It's got, I don't know, 12 or 15 different things in here. There's some funguses. Let me see. Right here, fungus. A scale off of what is it? A beech tree, I believe. Birch bark. Piece of fat wood. Some cedar, red cedar. Some corn silk. It's all in here. Just kind of put it in here and mix it all together. And that's what I'm doing right now. Just kind of mixing around the small stuff. It's like a forest floor is what I call it. But it's good stuff. Catches a spark. You can bird nest it. It's got enough bigger stuff in there where once it starts going, it'll catch up. It's good stuff. Now, what I'm doing is I have various grades of fat wood, anything from light fat wood to some heavier fat wood, some just knots, to prime fat wood, and I'm just splitting it, and I'll mix it all together. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just splitting some fat wood and processing it down to smaller pieces. That's all various grades of fat wood here, right there. what we have here is red cedar. I'm just going to split it into like 1-inch pieces here. It's really dry. This has been drying for quite some time. So just, split it like that. Baton it with your knife or however you want. But just going to make up some longer sticks. I processed everything down here. I got some birch bark. I got some sassafras. I got a whole mess load of these. I call them walking sticks, but they're the tubers from leaves. I got some pretty good maple here. It's a little wet on the outside, but it's good. Whole bunch of shaved bark from tree. Forest floor, which is a mixture of just about anything you can think of. Sassafras, cedar, fatwood. I got an old bag of mesquite that was getting funky, so I got some mesquite. What else do I got? I got hardwoods. So that's pretty much everything. I break everything down into smaller pieces once I get to the kit part, but pretty much this is how it all sits until it's like totally fully dry. And then I process everything down into individual bags or a fully mixed bag depending on the quantity. So that's it. That's the process I do to break down the tinder into manageable pieces until I'm ready to make a full fire kit. I got my ferro rod and my holes already drilled, so I'm just gonna use my 2-part adhesive here. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that. I got my adhesive. I'm gonna kind of get it started in the hole. And it's in there, see, just like so. I'm gonna take some super glue gel and put 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm gonna take my ferro rod. I'm gonna kind of twist it as I go, like that. So then it's in there just like so. And then I'm gonna take a little glab on my finger, like that. Just gonna put it right on there like so. To kind of fill that hole in, I'm just gonna rub my thumb around in a circle just like that. Just like so. It takes about 35 minutes for it to completely dry. And so I'm going to do a few of those. So, new rod. A good size little glob of adhesive. Take that out. Put it in the hole. 3 drops of super glue. 1, 2, 3. Take my rod. Put it in. Start twisting until it kind of poops out the side. Give it a good push down. As you can see, it kind of pooped out. I don't need to take extra there, so I'll just take my thumb, go around in a circle, just like that, nice and clean. Wipe my thumb off over here on this rag. Alright, so we got 20 ferro rods all set. Some pretty cool. Each one is unique to its own way. So each one has its own little personality. And so next step is I'm gonna drill lanyard holes, number each one. I keep a number count on all the ferrules I do. Alright, and now what I'm doing right here is I'm just adding a little bit of texture and burning to it. and it's going to make it darker, and all of that. Can you see it, buddy? My daughter Kennedy's helping me right now. She's actually videotaping me, but so I'm just burning the antler and getting it some texture or contrast, I'm sorry. So see there, just got a little contrast to it, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing this, trying to get these done for you guys, and giving them a finishing touch. And last thing I'm going to do is pack up the tinder and finish up my video, and they'll be heading your way. So just giving these a little brush job of some flame, kind of give them a little
Here, show it again, because I didn't get a good one.
Get it a little bit to stand out.
It's like, I can't really see it. There we go.
I just call this like a fire wash maybe, or something similar to that. Just giving it a little bit of a, making the high spots stand out a little bit. Alright, what I'm doing now is adding the paracord to the antler handles, and I'm just melting the cord down so that it'll fit through the hole. So basically just feeding it through the hole. Similar to that. Come on. Sometimes it can be a bugger. This one's being a bugger. Alright. Basically get it through. Pull it tight. Take the two ends, put them together. Through. Tighten it down. Put the two together. Take my lighter. Melt it down, and what that does is it kind of seals it together. You got a fob, so I got 20 of those to do. That's what I'm doing now. My daughter Kennedy, she's helping us with the paracord today. Say hi, Kennedy.
Hi.
Alright, folks, so got all your ferro rods packed up in a little pack there. Got your cedar sticks, your fat wood, which is it's pretty flammable stuff. If you just take the edge of your knife and just kind of scrape a little pile of this stuff, it will take a spark. You can use like one stick like this by itself will start many fires. But this is a great tinder for if it's wet out, because it's saturated with pine resin is what happens. The tree dies, the resin that's in the tree kind of solidifies and turns like into kind of a rock candy kind of, or like a dry sap that you would see on like the outside of a tree. But it's great tinder. So I got your cedar, which is great for kindling, breaking down into small pieces, toothpick-sized pieces to get stuff going. You can also shave it off. Great all-around tinder. So you got cedar, fat wood, This here is sassafras. It's actually great tinder. It's similar to the cedar as far as tinder goes. Great for making small sticks. You got red swamp cedar bark. You just peel a little chunk off here. It's very stringy, kind of fibrous bark. You can peel a few strings off there and roll it in your palm of your hand, and make a little ball. And this is great for catching a spark. Make a little bird's nest, and then get a spark going, blow on it, get your initial flame, and then add small tinder. It's great for that. I got some chunks of maple. They are dry inside. I just harvest these. These have been drying for a while. So the outside is a little damp, but the inside is dry as can be. So these are good for initial just chunks of wood to keep your fire going. There's 2 bags of those. I threw in some forest floor, which is a mixture of like 15 different things in here. There's pine needles, cattail fluff, fat wood shavings, bark shavings, mushroom pieces, punk, which is like the spongy wood that you find in the inside of a rotting tree. If you let that dry out, that'll take a spark great. Has that in there. Great all-around tinder for birds nesting and catching a spark. I got sassafras bark, which is a great tinder in itself. You can process this down very finely, almost into a powder, and this will also grab a spark. Also, this is great for holding a spark. So if you get one chunk going, it'll hold a coal for a long time. This here is actually off of a Rose of Sharon, but it's the fibrous bark off of Rose of Sharon. It's good all around tinder. You can roll this up in your hand. Also makes a great bird's nest. And then birch bark, which birch has oil in it, and it is birch has 7 layers. So if you look at this and you times this times 7, that's actually how much birch you have here. If you take a 1 by 1 inch chunk, you'll actually have 7 by 7 inches of birch, if you understand what I'm saying. And you can roll this in your hand. It's a great wet tinder. It's a great all-around tinder. I always keep a little bit of birch in my pack for when I'm out. You just peel off 1 layer, so you'll have 6 layers left after you peel off 1 layer, and it burns great. It's a great tinder. And then what I have here is called walking stick, and what this is actually off of a walnut tree. Walnut leaves actually grow off of a tuber, and these are the tubers that's left over after the leaves fall in the fall here in Michigan. Great tinder. Burns fairly quickly, but great all-around tinder. I cannot even guess how much weight I have here. I'm thinking it's probably somewhere around 4 pounds. So typically my kits are 1 pound tinder kits, and you guys have 2, so I'm actually doubling that. And if I have any room left in that box when I'm done packing it up, I have a few more goodies that I'm going to throw in there. But anyhow, so this is the tinder I'm sending you guys so far. Thank you. Hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you guys very much. Me and my daughter had a great time building your super deluxe awesome kit. I'm going to get it in the mail as soon as I can. I'm hoping by tomorrow so that it gets to you guys. I guess you guys have Pinewood Derby on Saturday. So that is my goal. As you can see, it's all packed up here on the counter, and it's going to be heading your way as soon as possible. I appreciate it very much. If any of you guys are on Facebook, be sure to check out my crafting page, facebook.com/Michigan Wildfire. I appreciate it. Thank you.